Hey everybody, this is Deb with Truthification Chronicles, and I showed this clip in my last video, the Monday one, but I wanted to expand on one part of it, and that is the guy named Huber. And also there was a mention of Horowitz, and I want to show how those two names go together. As you may know, if you watch Fox News, we have Sara Carter, John Solomon, and then Sean Hannity, and they were all talking about something going on, and they happened to mention a guy named Huber, and they also mentioned Horowitz. So let me show you the clip real quick here, and then we'll go on to the rest of it.
Now, I got a little bit of breaking news for you.
Get out of jail free cards, but yeah.
Yep. A little bit of breaking news.
Go into the uranium one and the dossier issue. You get the last word.
Oh, okay. Well, Sean, let me tell you this. When it comes to Mueller, we know this for a fact, that William Campbell, and I talked to him today, I spoke with him, and he said, look, he was informed of everything about Rosatom, about the uranium deal. He was in charge of the FBI then. So we have to ask ourselves this. Where are we going from here? We have so much evidence on the other side. Is there going to be a special counsel investigating the other side? What we've seen in Hillary Clinton, what we've seen with our weaponization of our intelligence apparatus? When is that going to happen?
All right, now, there's something percolating that probably will break Monday. Do either one, you're both smiling, do either one of you want to give the audience, well, a little heads up?
I'll give you some breaking news right now, Sean. Just 2 hours ago, federal prosecutors assigned to John Huber, the U.S. attorney investigating the Clintons, reached out to a whistleblower in the Clinton Foundation. The first time we've seen contact between a Clinton Foundation whistleblower and that particular federal office. That just happened tonight.
Are you talking about the one whose home was raided?
No, this is a different whistleblower that you might learn. You'll learn a lot more about on Monday, I bet you.
All right, we'll learn that on Monday. Sarah, last word. What is it?
Give us a
preview of Monday's coming attraction.
I think we've got a lot to look forward to on Monday, Sean, and I think that the American people are going to see that there was happening behind the scenes at the FBI as well as the Department of Justice, and Michael Horowitz have been doing a very deep dive into this, and there's going to be a lot of breaking news in the next month and the months to come.
Amazing, the year of the boomerang. We were right all along. Continues. Thank you both.
Okay, so you heard them mention them and that they are working and doing a deep dig, as Sara Carter said. Well, let me show you what they've been doing. I have another video on this that explains more of the letters back and forth, so I will hopefully remember to link to that here. But I want you to see who this guy Huber is and what he's been doing for the last year. It started about a year ago, actually November 13th, 2017, and that is when Attorney Jeff Sessions appoints Utah U.S. Attorney John W. Huber to leadership position as member of the Attorneys General's Advisory Committee. Now, this is on the Department of Justice website. Again, all of these links will be down below, just like I usually do. If you can't find the description sometimes on like cell phones and tablets and things, it may not be real obvious, but look around because there'll be something that will say the description of the video. That's where you can click on that, and it will have all of the links that I deal with in the video. So this press release was talking about how Huber was appointed to this advisory committee. Well, he was also tasked with doing something very important, but it's been undercover and it's been behind the scenes. Nobody really knows about it. We didn't find out about it until March 29th of 2018. And this letter from Jeff Sessions went to Grassley, Goodlatte, and Gowdy. And he told them that he has appointed Huber to look into all of the things that they brought up, all the questions that they've been bringing up. As you are aware, I have asked the department's Inspector General, Michael E. Horowitz, to review certain matters that you and some members of your committees have raised in recent and previous letters. Well, some of those are from this letter, July 27th. They list 14 things in this letter. Down here, sorry, should just pull it down here. Okay, they have 14 items that they want addressed, and they were asking for a special counsel to do it. Well, Sessions kept saying no special counsel, no special counsel. That's because Huber was doing the work of a special counsel and was doing it much better and faster than a special counsel ever could. But we'll find out more about that in a minute. So anyway, there are 14 different questions here that they presented to Sessions, and they really wanted answers on. And so Sessions was addressing those answers when he was writing his letter here to them. You and some members of your committees have raised in recent and previous letters. That's what he's talking about. And there was another letter, too, that had more questions in it. So, to carry out these duties, Title V of the United States Code provides the Inspector General with broad discretion and significant investigative powers. Now, notice the key word here is investigative. The office currently employs approximately 470 staff, a significant number of whom are lawyers, auditors, and investigators who may exercise wide discretion on matters under their jurisdiction. If the Inspector General finds evidence of criminal wrongdoing, he may refer it to a United States attorney, who can then convene a grand jury or take other appropriate actions. See, the thing is, the Inspector General, all he can do is investigate problems, and then he can make recommendations. So this guy Horowitz, he was originally appointed by Obama, and he was doing his job. He actually was bringing up things that needed to be changed. It's just the Obama administration wasn't listening to him, and they didn't implement any of the recommendations he made. So he was being stifled the entire time he was trying to do his job, but he couldn't do anything about it because all he can do is investigate and make recommendations. However, the whole idea of having a United States attorney paired up with him then changes it, because then that attorney can actually make prosecutions. So, to be clear, the Inspector General has the authority to investigate allegations of wrongdoing, collect evidence through subpoena, and develop cases for presentation to the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General for prosecution or other action. So that's what he does. But he's still not able to impanel grand juries or to prosecute. So, pursuant to that, and I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but I will put the link down below so you can read it. I went through it in the other video that I did, and I also had all the letters and everything. So if you go watch that, you'll see the whole picture. But in this, we have him saying specifically, I asked United States Attorney John W. Huber to lead this effort. Mr. Huber is an experienced federal prosecutor who was twice confirmed unanimously by the Senate as United States Attorney for the District of Utah in 2015 and 2017. Mr. Huber previously served in leadership roles within the U.S. Attorney's Office as the National Security Section Chief and the Executive Assistant U.S. Attorney. He has personally prosecuted a number of high-profile cases and coordinated task forces focused against violent crime and terrorism. So this guy is in charge. He is conducting his work from outside the Washington, D.C. area and in cooperation with the Inspector General. So all of this, and they have a March 6th letter that gave more questions that they wanted, and Sessions says, everything that you raised fall within the scope of his existing mandate. He's already been investigating it. And that's the key. When they talk about them doing a deep dig, that's what they mean. These guys have already been investigating all of those things. And that includes the abuse of the FISA, and it includes Uranium One, and it includes the Clinton Foundation. So all of these are going to be investigated. When that letter came out on March 29th of 2018, this article in Breitbart came out the same day, and it quotes Professor Turley, who is a law professor. Sessions appointing Utah federal prosecutor much better for Trump than second special counsel. By the way, if you wonder why I make this so big, part of it is for my old eyes, but the other part is it gets rid of all the stuff over on this side that it has, so you don't have to see all those. If you bump it up high enough, it puts it in the mobile mode. So that's what it is. Professor Jonathan Turley, a top national legal expert on government investigations, commented on Thursday about Attorney General Jeff Sessions' decision to bring in U.S. Attorney John Huber. Turley called it brilliant to combine all the powers of the U.S. Department of Justice's Inspector General with a prosecutor who can bring charges, seek indictments, and get results for President Trump far more quickly than a second special counsel. This is what I don't understand. You have these people like Jim Jordan and Bob Goodlatte and even Trey Gowdy. They were clamoring for a second special counsel. And it's like, why? Why? Well, this guy's going to lay down the case for why this setup is so much better than the second special counsel. Turley is a law professor at George Washington University who attained national fame during the 1988 impeachment of President Bill Clinton as a top legal authority on special counsels and congressional investigations of government wrongdoing, including criminal wrongdoing. His reputation has only grown during the intervening 20 years, as he has weighed in on scandals and investigations of public officials from both political parties. Sessions sent a letter to House Judiciary Committee Chairman Bob Goodlatte, House Oversight Committee Chairman Trey Gowdy, and Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley, informing them that Huber is conducting a full-fledged criminal investigation into all the matters Republicans are calling for a special counsel to investigate. Huber has been investigating these possible crimes for 5 months since November 13th, 2017. Well, now it's a whole year. So, see, they said it. And this guy is saying, yes, he has been. See, he's confirming exactly what I said. During an interview on Lou Dobbs' Fox Business Network show, Turley explained to guest host Stuart Varney that the media are wrongly reporting that Sessions will not appoint a second special counsel. He did not foreclose the possibility of a special counsel, he insisted. Instead, Turley explained that Sessions has ordered Huber to team up with the Inspector General, IG, within the Justice Department to investigate these matters. Sessions informed Congress in his letter that all the matters recommended for investigation by Goodlatte, Gowdy, and Grassley are fully within the scope of Huber's existing mandate. I just read that to you. He also informed the chairman that Inspector General Michael Horowitz, who is working with Huber, has a staff of 470 investigators, giving Huber access to enormous investigative firepower that far exceeds the staff of any special counsel. The staff of any special counsel is like 20 to 25 people. Do the math. 470 versus 20 to 25. What are you going to get done? That point is critical because, as Sessions' March 29th letter explains, the Inspector General's jurisdiction to conduct civil and criminal investigations includes actions taken by former employees after they have left government service. Then Huber can act on any of those matters. Now, by the way, just remember that the 470 is the investigative staff. It is not necessarily the prosecutorial staff, but if you've got the investigations going on and they just hand you all the information, it makes the prosecution a lot faster, right? As a U.S. attorney, Huber has full authority to impanel a grand jury and to file criminal charges. A grand jury can be impaneled anywhere, which means that it could be a group of citizens from deep red Utah in the heart of Trump country, instead of the D.C. swamp that decides whether to hand down indictments for felony prosecutions. The Inspector General's jurisdiction extends not only to allegations of legal violations, but also to allegations that department employees violated established practices as well. Sessions added in his letter, which means that the IG's report can hold people accountable even for actions that do not violate a specific statute. But they can hold them accountable if they violate just the established practices. So it actually allows for more there. I think Sessions did the right thing here, said Turley. I think the president should listen to General Sessions on this one. Sessions can always appoint a special counsel, Turley explained, but that should not even be necessary because Huber has the ability to prosecute cases. Do these prosecutors have the same power to investigate and get to the bottom of things that a special counsel should have? Varney asked. Actually, yes, Turley answered. I think people are missing that it could be a brilliant move here by Sessions. What he did is essentially combine the powers of the Inspector General with the powers of a line prosecutor. This prosecutor does not have just the experience and training to look for a criminal case. He has the ability to move a case of that kind in court, Turley emphasized. Not only that, but if Sessions believes crimes were committed, but Huber for some reason does not bring charges, Sessions has reserved the right to go ahead and appoint a special counsel, said Turley. That's a powerful combination, he observed. When Varney asked if Huber and Horowitz's status as Obama holdovers creates a possible problem for Sessions and President Trump, Turley said no, observing that each man has a great reputation as a dogged investigator. Breitbart News has separately confirmed that Utah Senators Orrin Hatch and Mike Lee, both of whom are Republicans who support aggressive investigations of these scandals, enthusiastically supported Huber to be reappointed by President Trump as his U.S. Attorney in Utah. The Senate confirmed Huber in 2017 for a second term. Huber is a Utah lawyer, not a D.C. lawyer. That distance between him and Washington is very important, Turley explained, because Huber's not part of the deep state. That is, not cozy buddies with the cocktail party scene that is suspected of perpetrating all of these actions against President Trump and his administration. Turley said that President Trump should be very happy that Sessions chose this route of appointing Huber, who has the power to seek indictments and prosecute cases, and teamed him up with Horowitz, who has 470 investigators at his disposal, if the president wants to see swift and decisive action. This is brilliant. I'm telling you, this was a brilliant move of Sessions, and people are not giving Sessions enough credit for it. Sorry, I'm a fan of Sessions. I think he's done an awful lot of things. I think he did what he was tasked to do. And I think that the whole thing with Trump and his tweets against Sessions, it was purely for optics, because if he would have tried to support Sessions, then the left-wing media would have attacked Trump and said that anything Sessions did was just political bias. So he had to distance himself from Sessions. But make no mistake, Sessions was doing what he was supposed to do. He did a great job. If a special counsel were appointed, there would be a great deal of delay, Turley stated, versus the team of Huber and Horowitz, who are already 5 months into this investigation, or in this case, a whole year into the investigation. Have we heard anything about Huber? Well, we haven't heard much, and that's because there haven't been leaks, which is the way it's supposed to work. You see, under Obama, there were all these leaks going on because they wanted stuff out into the press to make the Republicans look bad, and we were seeing that at the very beginning of Trump's presidency because we still had so many deep state holdovers who were in the FBI and they were leaking. And if you go back to the report that IG Horowitz put out, yes, that was happening. He included it. It's in the appendices at the end. So go in there and look, and you will see these charts that show how the reporters were being connected to the people in the FBI, and it was just a big mess because they had leaks everywhere. Everybody was going to the reporters when they shouldn't have been. But yes, we have heard about Huber. In this article, we see this was June 5th, 2018, and we see that it says Huber, the prosecutor Sessions appointed to work with IG Horowitz, just announced his first arrest for spying on behalf of China. U.S. Attorney John Huber announced the arrest of former Defense Intelligence Agency officer Ron Rockwell Hansen on multiple charges, including the attempted transmission of national defense information to the People's Republic of China. So, yes, he was doing things. Most of what Huber was doing resulted in sealed indictments, so they've not all come out yet. However, there have been many that have come out, like this one, that are getting people for corruption and for various things like money laundering, racketeering, things like that. So yes, there have been arrests, there have been indictments that have been unsealed. We'll see it says it was an unsealed indictment in the article about when the arrests were made, but most of them have not been unsealed yet, and that's what we're waiting for, that a lot of them will be. Now, a lot of people have trashed on Huber, and they said, oh, he's not doing anything because, you know what, he hasn't even talked to Bruce Orr. Well, the thing is, when you have a grand jury, the burden of proof is not near as strong as it is for a regular court case, because all you have to do is give enough evidence so the grand jury will say, yeah, there was a crime committed, and yeah, this person more than likely did it, so they should be brought up on charges. That's really all that they have to do. They have to give enough information to show that. Now, there's probably a lot of documentation that they have that is written and does not need to have any witnesses being interviewed. A lot of information that Bruce Orr has was likely contained in documents, and so they've had a paper trail that they could use instead. Or it could be that some of the people that they've been interviewing have been kept quiet. Why? Because there's this strange thing that happens to witnesses against Hillary and Bill Clinton. It's called arkancided. So they don't want these people arkancided, and because of that, there's a lot of protection. It's for confidential informants. It's very common for confidential informants to have their identity kept secure so that nothing happens to them. I mean, that's the whole point about it. And in that video clip, you heard him talking about a whistleblower. The identity of that person, we don't know. Why? Because they're keeping them safe. When I posted that clip in the Monday video, I saw a lot of people in the comments going, oh, I hope he stays alive. Yeah, that's the thing. We want these witnesses to stay alive. So what's the best way of protecting them? Not letting anybody know that they've been interviewed. Because if they know that they've been before a grand jury, there's a great likelihood that they may not make it to testify in front of a regular jury in a criminal trial. When I look at something like this, it's like, well, duh, it's an ongoing investigation. They're not supposed to talk about it. Why would they be talking about who they've interviewed and who they haven't? I don't think it's logical to say that we know he hasn't talked to him. How do you know? If it's a sealed indictment, the proceedings are sealed, you're not going to know until it's unsealed. I think I said that in another video, didn't I? And then there's this article, John Huber's FBI Justice Department probe shrouded in mystery. Well, yes, because they've been doing sealed proceedings and sealed indictments. This was from October 25th, roughly 1 year after U.S. Attorney John Huber was appointed to investigate whether accusations that the FBI and Justice Department abused their powers during the 2016 election season merit prosecution. His work remains shrouded in mystery. Sorry, the N is out there. Likely witnesses tell the Washington Times that they haven't heard from him, though they are eager to tell what they know. Nor has Mr. Huber kept congressional overseers in the loop on his activities. Could that be because some of those congressional overseers are guilty people that he's been investigating? Remember the China thing? Yeah. Then there seems to be a senator who had a Chinese driver and didn't know he was a spy for 20 years. I wonder if maybe she's being investigated. And then Jim Jordan says, I would just like to know what he's doing. Representative Jim Jordan, Ohio Republican, told the Times, I'll take anything. All I know is that we haven't heard a single thing about what he's doing. Well, no, Jim, we haven't, because he's doing sealed work. He's trying to keep this on the QT so people don't know what he's doing until everything's ready to present. Huber is scheduled on December 5th to testify before Congress. I believe it's a closed-door meeting. I don't know what he's going to say. If they are ongoing investigations, if the indictments have not been unsealed yet, I don't know that he can say anything. But he may be able to confirm some things. And I think the specific target there is going to be about the Clinton Foundation. Really, the Clinton Foundation is going to be a major key in this because it involved all the pay-to-play, it involves the human trafficking, it involves pretty much most of the crimes. So once they target that, it's going to be like a domino effect, and all of these dominoes are going to start to fall, and he can start unsealing all the work that he's done. So I don't know if anything's going to be unsealed before he testifies. I don't know if his testimony is going to be kind of curtailed because he can't talk about it, but I sure hope that he gives them an idea that yes, he has been very busy. And yes, things that they wanted investigated are being investigated and will result in criminal prosecutions. So, that's what I've got for you. And December 5th is going to be an exciting time to see what happens. Again, we won't be able to watch what Huber says. It won't be on C-SPAN or anything, but it should have some impact. Somehow in here, I think maybe this week we may be seeing the declass of all the documents that they want. And who knows, maybe they'll release this testimony by Huber. It's just so many things are going to be happening. And then when you think back to what Sara Carter and John Solomon said and Hannity, something's going on. We're starting to find out that there's whistleblowers and things are happening. So, have a great week. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for stopping by.